What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we have another huge episode. Well, at least we have a lot of stuff planned in today's episode. First off, if you guys missed the last build video, I guess I don't know how long it's been since that has gone up from when this is going up, because we're trying to rack in a lot of work in like a single episode. So hopefully you guys are enjoying that whole tactic, or I guess whatever you want to call it. Engine bay came out absolutely insane, so go ahead and check out that video for that whole process. But I was just thinking, like, it's cool to see 3 engine bays that I'm working on, all in like different stages. So here we have my S14. We went a little bit more hardcore on this one than we initially planned. We body worked all the corners up in here on the seams and stuff like that, filled in all the holes on the visual areas, and yeah, so now that's in primer. You know, we did kind of the same thing, but we didn't go as hard with the body work around here, same in here, but you guys can still see that it came out very, very nice. And over here we have a fully completed engine bay that, I mean, we body worked and shaved and I mean, this is the extreme. I would love to do another one like this. I've learned a lot, which is cool. So yeah, but today, first big thing, if you guys follow me on social media, you guys would have seen that we went ahead and picked up the engine for this build. A lot of you guys are pretty stoked. I'm very stoked. This is something a little bit different, and here it is. So, RB25, just not your average 25 though. This right here, guys, is the RB25 Neo. So, a couple little main differences right off the bat with the Neo. We have solid lifters in the head, which is a big upgrade. We also have RB26 connecting rods, which are also upgraded from the factory RB25 rods. I could be wrong, but I think they might be forged. I'm not entirely too sure. The compression ratio, I believe, is also bumped up. Instead of 9:1, it is 9.5 to 1. There's also, I forget exactly, so I'm gonna look into a little bit more myself, but it has somewhat of, I think, an oil drain at the front of the head or something like that. So you guys are probably wondering, like, hey, maybe you know, what's the point of solid lifters? Basically, you guys can, you know, that's the really nice advantage of an RB26 head, is it has solid lifters, so you can basically just bang limiter, and not too much harm can happen if your tune is proper and stuff like that. So that is a huge little positive of the Neo. So today, really quick, first thing I'm gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna tear this thing apart. Really quick though, we actually got this for 1,400 bucks. I personally think that's a great deal. It looks extremely clean. If you guys look in here, but it looks promisingly clean. So we're gonna go ahead and take the head off. We would like to go ahead and get it trued up at the machine shop, so that's going to be our plan, just in case if it is either warped at all minutely, we would like to get that sorted out. So without further ado, let's go ahead and let's start tearing this RB down, guys. Hopefully you guys are excited for an RB back up on the channel. Smash that thumbs up button if you are, but let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we're going to try something a little bit different here. I'm going to be talking over these time lapses, kind of guiding you through. Let me know how you guys like this. So, first things first, remove your cam angle sensor. Just 3 10mm bolts, pops right out. Then you can go ahead and take your cam cover off, or cam gear cover. As you guys can see, the spark plugs were filled with, I don't know what, but, you know, time to clean this thing up, and obviously this thing hasn't been ran in a while, so. So spark plugs are out. They're definitely looking a little bit crusty. They've been there for way too long, so nothing out of the ordinary, however. So first things first, I just like to do this is put the motor top down center. As you guys can see, got the little cam gear marks lined up on the backing plate, as well as the mark on the cam pulley. Go ahead and remove the crank pulley itself. It's got a 27mm bolt. Very difficult to remove, actually. So as you guys can see, I've actually made my own, I guess, pulley puller. Because the ones I just kept renting from AutoZone never seemed to do the job. So I welded up a little plate, as you guys can see. It works pretty damn well. So DIY for the win, you know what I mean? But once that's off, and by the way, you will need a puller. Excuse me. I've been kind of getting over a little bit of a chest cold lately, but pop that sucker off, and from then we can go ahead and remove the lower timing belt cover. It's just, again, another 10, you know, a few 10 mils. You guys can literally build these engines with a 10 mil, pretty much, for the most part, kind of, not really. So the timing belt, you know, normal kind of, you know, use. I don't think this engine was abused too much, just because it, I believe, still has the autopilot bushing in the crankshaft. So I think it wasn't auto. It's probably like a 4-door R34 or something like that. Who knows? But We're going to go ahead and remove the cam gears. However, I had a little bit of a issue getting this bolt off very, very tight. So I went ahead and we switched processes a little bit. We're removing the tensioner for the timing belt. That way we can remove the belt itself. We are going to be replacing that, so don't you guys worry about that. And from there, you can take off the valve covers, get those out of the way, and you guys are going to see pretty soon, actually, that you will need to have to grab the cam with a crescent wrench or something, so you do not move it as you're loosening the bolt. So you will need a 10mm Allen bolt, so it's not something that everyone has laying around. I actually had to go ahead and buy one. And then just a little bit of a pry of a screwdriver, that thing will just pop right out. Same with the exhaust cam gear. That one's a little bit easier. Go ahead and remove the timing gear plate. And next up, we're going to go ahead and remove the cams. So as you guys can see, it has these kind of splash shields at the back of the motor. We're going to go ahead and remove those first, and then once those are off, we can go ahead and start doing our loosening sequence for the cams. The cam caps, you got to be very careful. You can actually ruin your cam caps, and you do not want to do that. Start from the outside and work your way in. Find, I guess, the tightening and loosening sequence for your cams, but generally for loosening, you start on the outside and you work your way in. And I like to do a quarter turn at a time. That way you're not kind of loosening them too much. And as you guys can see, they are labeled. So you want to make sure you put them in the right spot. They have to go exactly back where they were. Intake is specific, exhaust side is specific, so please be careful if you guys are doing this. Make sure you have everything labeled, laid out nice and neatly, and stay organized. Again, with the lifters, as you guys can see, numbered, labeled, intake, exhaust, they have to go back in the exact same position that they did when you remove them. By that I mean, you know, lifter number 1 has to go to number 1. You know, like, that's what I'm saying. They don't have to go orientation-wise perfectly the same, but as far as location, they got to be where they started off. So as you guys can see, we now have the cams, and actually just went ahead and off camera while the batteries were charging, I actually loosened up, and the head is basically ready to be pulled. We do have, there's 10mm Allen bolts as head studs to be removed. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on each side, and then also do not forget that we will have some 10 mils holding the head on as well to the block. So there's one here, and there's actually 2 on the back side of the block as well. So don't forget those, and then at this point we should be ready to lift this sucker off. As you guys can see, I don't know if there's I don't know if this is like makes the throw longer of the valve, so it opens, you know, it stays open longer, but as you guys can see, the valve actually sticks out, I don't know, about 1/4 of an inch over here, and over here barely sticks out. So obviously this is the exhaust side and this is the intake side. So I'm sure someone in the comment section below will be able to give us some knowledge about that, but so far everything looks pretty good, pretty clean in here. This thing has not been ran in a while. Maybe it was just imported and it never saw you know, a swap here in the US, but we're here to give it some life. So I'm gonna pull the head off and we're gonna start diving into the block, the oil pan, and we'll kind of see what we're working with. So far so good, guys. Let's keep on rolling. Oh, okay.
Get exposed. Them execs, we ain't sweating those, I'm a sweat. It's bigger than Nino, we know we the last generation that's worshiping now.
But it's nice because I feel like I get to run into you all.
The user grinder friend, we the
Alright, so it is the next day, and today's plan is to take everything to the machine shop. So I called a local machine shop here to me, Drake's. They're going to go ahead and hopefully get everything what needs to be done. So the plan, what I have to do right now, and it's gonna be interesting because I have a total of 4 pieces, 2 blocks and 2 heads to be transported, because we're actually doing 2 RB builds. I didn't really tell you about one, so more to come about that. One block, actually I've had this here for a while. Drake's has been super busy, so finally we can go ahead and take all of our stuff to him. Here is one block, RB25 right here. This is actually the RB25 that came out of the black S14 that we worked on last year. So yeah, we're gonna try and fit all that stuff in the Z, which is gonna be pretty interesting. I mean, I think we can do it. I think we can. First thing I gotta do though is take the girdle out, take all the pistons out, and then take the crank out. So let's get to it. Checking out the bearings, honestly, they look pretty damn good. So I was told if you can feel anything with your fingernail, they should be technically replaced. Same thing goes for the crank. So you guys can see just normal wear and tear. Just, really no complaints as far as that goes. So with the crankshaft, we are going to take it to the machine shop, probably get it polished. There were no real scoring, no scoring that I could feel at all on all of the pistons, or at least, spots on the crank. So that's a positive. As you guys can see, basically I loosened the connecting rod bolts, took off the cap, spun the crank so it pushed the piston down, and then kind of hit it with the mallet from the top gently so you could pull it out from the bottom of the, well, I guess top of the block. Once all those are out, crank comes right out. There is a girdle. I don't think we filmed that. So there I think there's 17 mil bolts. Go ahead and remove that again in sequence. Off comes the oil cooler filter adapter plate. I do not think we're going to be running it, so we're just going to go ahead and get rid of it. Alright, so like an hour's passed, but we have the RB, we have the crank, we got the girdle, we got the pistons. Everything that I think we need is in the car besides the head. Now, this was way more difficult than we would like it to be. Obviously, we have to jack the car up because I couldn't get the engine hoist underneath my diffuser. Man, so but it's in. Yeah, we definitely would not have fit 2 whole engine assemblies in this car. We probably could have, but it would not have been ideal. Had to sacrifice our sub for the ride, but as you guys can see, it is all in there. Yeah, it's been like pouring on and off all day, which has kind of been strange, but this is it, man. It's all here. Let's go ahead and drop it off. Alright, so like an hour's passed, and did I even tell you guys why we're taking this stuff to the machine? So, we're taking this stuff to the machine shop just to get kind of trued out. We want to make sure everything's decked very nice and flat. We are running a metal head gasket, so with a metal head gasket, mainly the head, and we might go ahead, we'll probably get it cleaned, pressure tested, that kind of stuff, but as well as the block, just make sure it's all nice and flat. And yeah, that's kind of the main thing. This car's gonna be driven a lot. We want to make sure that it's just, it's gonna be reliable and just good for a long time. Coming in, I'll show you guys the head really quick. Take a good look at it. I didn't bring the lifters, the cams, the cam caps. I don't think we'll need those. We're gonna be running stock cams for now, so I think that should be okay. But when we get these things back, they should be looking brand new. So I'll probably go ahead and end up taking the other RB25 tomorrow, because yeah, no room for that. So I love this exhaust, man. I'm kind of thinking, like, should we do a dual tip? You know what I mean? Like, get the same setup on that side. That'd be kind of cool. What do you guys think? Whew, that booty. So, we're back. We dropped off the head, the block. It's so funny. It turns out that one of my buddies actually works there, and he's worked there for 6 years. I had no idea. So, small world. So, I was just thinking, I kind of want to, like, design a duct almost for our nose piece. I actually want this to be functional, and I want the air to be actually guided to the radiator. And the way it's set up right now, you guys can see that little shiny right there? That's the radiator. There's the motor. And this just kind of goes straight up into nothing. So I'm gonna make like a plate because I have like a tucked radiator, like a custom rad setup that I did. You guys can see, kind of tucked, you know, way better than, you know, way more room than what we had. Can now fit a fan back here, and we actually have a fan up front as well. So I actually have some aluminum right here that I'm gonna go ahead and try and make like some sort of a guide to go ahead and direct air downwards to the radiator. So let's see what we can do. Alright, so it is a new day. Kind of ran out of daylight and I actually had to run out and go meet up with someone really quickly. But I've made some progress since then. In the meantime, well, first off, you guys probably saw me doing something with cardboard. This is actually, I've made this plate. Hang on, wait, it goes this way. And it kind of is going to box in because you guys can see how it's all open down there, and I feel like that's creating like a lot of like turbulent air. So any air that probably does pass through the intercooler, I feel like is just sinking underneath the car and we're just losing it. So the goal here is to kind of get as much flow to the radiator as possible. So I've created this, which I'll probably have to end up making in 2 pieces just to actually get it inside there. But this actually seals up that whole bottom panel. Now I do also want to go ahead and build a fully like under tray panel type deal out of like aluminum or whatever. So that'll be kind of cool, but just to seal up this upper portion, because even if we do make something underneath, it could still technically scoot underneath the lower radiator support. So that's why we want to go ahead and cap it off. Let me go ahead and put this in really quick so I kind of can show you guys what I'm talking about. So this will kind of give you guys a general idea as to how we're looking. So we're gonna box off the goal is going to be boxing off all of this area, because as you guys can see, we got some room here, and air always takes the path of least resistance. So the goal is to kind of encapsulate the radiator in like its own little zone, so any air that does come to the front of the car gets guided directly to it. I think we're going to get back to the S14, but at least we got some work done on this thing, so let's get back to it. But yeah, like I was saying, this is just a rough kind of build, so we're going to make it a little bit nicer. Just kind of wanted to see how it works and how it functions first, but it definitely, now any air that comes through that vent will be guided straight into the radiator. So the Z is pushed back. I am actually going to go ahead, we're going to start working on the whole fuse box tuck. So we decided that we are going to go ahead and move the whole fuse box behind the dash. So the plan, first off, gotta get the dash out. So let's go ahead and get that done. Oh, this cage sucks. Ugh. Okay, that wasn't even on.
Everyone, yeah, nice. I think there are pieces of that coming in
Hey guys, getting in the driveway when you're not out there. I wish you were.
Yeah, there's no heater core or really anything back here. A lot of random wiring, so that's gonna be, I think I'm just gonna yank all this out, man. We don't need any of this. It's a little better, right? At least now it's well, there's nothing, it's all, there it is. A lot of it was just like random garbage. Like one was like a power hub, one was like a ground hub, then just a random slew of just stuff. Like I don't even know what this is. I think this was like EGT or something like that. Rip that out. I don't think we're gonna run it. I mean, this is just gonna be a clean, simple street car, so I don't think we need any of that random stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and get the harness for the back here and the heater core, and then also start fishing in the main harness that we're gonna be going ahead and tucking back here as well. But I will start with the heater core because that's like the furthest item. So it's so cramped in here and it's like really warm, so it's good. All right guys, so about an hour's passed and I've been super busy. change of plan. Well, what was I working on? I think I was working on putting the heater stuff in. Change of plan. So I decided to go ahead and kind of route the harness back into the car. So I just fished all that. I would have filmed it, but I was in and out the car. It really would have been nice to have two people in that situation. So I envy all the people that have homies out there that are willing to help out and, like, you know, willingly help out and work on the car, which is awesome. But yeah, as you guys can see, well, first off, that's cool. I think I told you about that already. This is the whole fuse box harness. So basically, hang on, let me get back inside this thing. It's so tough to get in and out of, you know. If anyone caught that reference, you're a legend. Yeah, so as you guys can see, that is the harness right here. We have it routing through here, boom, boom, and then we're not chopping out because there's a lot of excess. We're just kind of looping it, and then we're gonna try and get it to lay in the glove box area. So you guys can now observe me kind of route this, and then of course we're gonna have to go ahead and extend the lights and the horn wiring, that kind of stuff, back to the front of the car. Also, I think a lot of stuff is cut on, like this is cut right here. I think this probably is gonna be for like the blower motor and stuff like that. Sorry, I got freaking Shmee in the background. So yeah, this probably might be the blower motor stuff. You guys can see that wiring right here. Hopefully, I don't know, that's the problem, because we want all this stuff to work, and it does look kind of empty in here, but I guess we'll kind of figure that out as we go. Man, I want a bigger turbo. We need a new manifold. Does anyone out there actually have a 67+ mm turbo? Maybe secondhand, that's in good shape. Maybe I could buy it, who knows? I don't know. Alright guys, so quick update on the S14 build. I've been grinding away today for the most part of the day, and doing the extension of the harness for like our headlights and turn signals and that kind of stuff for the front, to obviously, because we have tucked it, obviously. It's the same video. You guys know, it's just, this is sprawled out between such a long period of time, I sometimes will forget, so I'm sorry. But, as you guys can see, I just did this one side already, just to kind of, I guess, get it done and show you guys how I did it. So there's 4 sets of wires going up, well, I guess 4 connectors. So we have our main headlight, which is an HID kind of connection. This right here, the car did not come with high beams, so as you can see, I at least will bring up the wiring for it. So it's there. When we do get the connector for it, we can wire it up. This guy here, I believe, is for the bumper, like the turn signal, and this guy here is for the corner light of the headlights that go up here. So there's about 5 in total that we're bringing around. These are actually going to go across over there because this is the driver's side. So I just want to show you how we did it. By the way, I'm using high quality wire. You don't want to use crappy wire. Get this out in the light for you. Some Stinger wire, made in the USA. Legit copper. Like, this stuff is awesome. I bought a big old roll for it so we can use some quality materials for the build, because, you know, we don't want any bad wiring or anything like that in the car for the long term. So that's that. Does anyone want a Z32 NA harness for a 90? I got one. I don't know, 200 bucks plus shipping if you guys want it, so hit me up. And then you guys can also see how it's like twirled up a little bit, right? A little braided up. Sorry, the white's kind of wild on the screen. So basically just hooked up to a drill and just spun it around. So everything all labeled, just, you know, for future reference. Also labeled everything on the inside. So if you ever want to go ahead and take the dash out and do a little bit of troubleshooting, you at least know what's what and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to continue. We're going to do the wiring for now what would be the passenger side. So I'm going to show you guys. We're going to get back on the time lapse, and let's get to work. So first things first, when it comes to doing this whole process, I just kind of like to strip things back, get any nasty like tape out the way, any heat shrink that's just gross and just, you know what I mean, get out the way, rip it all out. From then, obviously, we are heat shrinking and soldering everything. We're doing this right. We want this stuff to last, guys. So you want to do it, you want to solder properly. Also, there's a way to do this. You do not just kind of melt the solder on top of the wire. You heat the wire first, so the solder kind of melts through the wire and kind of gets into all the strands and will hold for a long time. So very easy. As you guys can see, I'm not going to bore you guys too much with the wiring, but basically just figure out the length that you need to, you know, to run back up to the front of the car, cut as many wires as you, well, I guess as many lengths of new wire that you need to go ahead and complete the job. And before you guys know it, it just takes time, and you will be done. I guess it's easier than you guys think. It just takes some time. I'm gonna stop rambling, get back to the video. Ooh. Damn. So I figured I'd give you guys a quick little sneak peek. We got some side like splitter valance pieces for the Z. We have a front lip coming, we have some front canards, we have some rear valance pieces. This thing's gonna be arrowed out, but we're gonna make it look like nice and not tacky. So that's the goal, and I'm doing it with I'm probably gonna get some hate for this, eBay parts. I'm gonna show you guys how easy it is, and it is possible to make cheaper parts look really good and I guess kind of factory on a car. So yes, I'll give you guys info on what these are when we do the video, but just a quick little sneak peek, and they're by no means like mocked up. I literally just have them sitting on wood right now, but so they're super off, but oh man. Any parts for me today, bud? Nope. All right, you have a good one. So what? So where were we on this thing? As you guys can see, the harness is all tucked. We have it routed on this side. Well, actually, have the fender on that side. So basically, it's the same deal going on over there. And then inside the car, you guys can see the white wire is our, I guess, extended wire going into the car and connecting up to the factory location. So that is that. And I think that's going to be it for this video. So if you guys enjoyed this build video, please give it a thumbs up. Oh, by the way, guys, if you guys are local, or even if I guess technically you don't need to be, because you can pretty much send in almost anything that needs to be done. So if you guys need anything like painted, restored, I actually restored some headlights yesterday in my mom's Jag. I'll show some before and after pictures now. I will have a video released on this pretty soon, just to show you guys a DIY and how I did this, because guys, the difference is it is crazy how much better it looks. So if you guys need something like that done, just hit me up, man. I'm very willing in helping you guys out, and it also helps me out, so it's kind of like a win-win. Okay, first off, we need an RB25 or RB26 bell housing from a manual. If anyone has one, please let us know, because we definitely need it, because the plan would be to technically it'd be nice to be able to run a Z32 transmission. That'd be the cheapest route. Otherwise, we might need to go CDO9, unless we can find an RB25 transmission locally, which I don't know if we will or not. So hopefully, fingers crossed, someone out there can kind of help us out. So that would be cool. And then with this thing, you know, it's running really good. Like, it's just so good. I want to work on heat management and getting heat outside, like out of the engine bay, because it's so cramped in here that just heat builds up pretty gnarly. And I would like to get a vented hood, but they're like $800, so I'm just trying to decide on how to go about this. But yeah, it's running good. I really want to get a new intake manifold, one of those low rise, super nice clean ones. I'm thinking about getting a Borg Warner S14 66mm turbo and push like 600 horsepower. That'd be pretty wild on a stock 2J. What else? Things, man. There's just a lot of things I would like to do. You know, a lot of parts. So, oh, by the way, if you guys want to buy a sticker, that'd be super cool. I haven't really mentioned that in a while. Free shipping anywhere in the world, so check it out, link below. But that is going to be it for today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed. Still waiting on the paint for this damn thing. Like, come on, any day now, right? It's been crazy, but hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one, which will probably be very soon. I have a car show reaction video, which I know you guys love, and like I said, the headlight restoration video. And we're gonna do we might take this car out to Mexico tonight or tomorrow night, and do some pulls with some homies. So be on the lookout. I'll catch you guys then. I guess I'll see you later. Peace. Bye.